Alright, so from another student, the importance of competition in jiu-jitsu or MMA or whatever. It's my best to put this in the words is it's important to the person. Like, if you need that, if you need the test, then yes, go for it. You just need to understand what competition is and what competition means. There are guys from white belts, blue belts, purple belts, brown belts, black belts, all levels that train full-time, and their goal is to be a world champion. That's 100% what they do. So if you feel like competing is necessary, but sometimes you have hard times in your division, and by hard times I mean maybe you're just like getting smashed, just understand that there are people out there that that's what they do full-time. Like, you can't say, that guy's a black belt, but he got beat by a black belt over here, or that guy's a blue belt, but he hasn't won a blue belt tournament. Like, it's not the easiest for hobbyists to go into some tournaments and win. Is it possible? Absolutely, 100%. It's possible for a hobbyist to win worlds. But in 2021, in the current times, it's not as likely, because there are guys that have been training full time since they start. Same way with MMA and any other combat sport. There are guys that do this full time, and that's what they do, is to compete. So, knowing material, being able to teach back the material is the biggest part of growth. Being able to defend yourself and being able to put back information, to give it back, are the biggest things. You have to have those things. The fight, to do your best, to be able to train as a hobbyist, to get off work, to get your meals in, to get your workouts right, to spend time with your family and still train and be a decent competitor, to me, that should mean the world to a lot of guys that want to compete. Like, when you get on the floor and you feel that you did a good job based off of how you're able to train, and you feel like you're able to defend yourself, to me, that's the goal for me. Personally, that's the goal for me. Like, if I don't win, but I felt like I competed, I'm okay with that. If I get tired and I just can't get past that last 2 points because I know I ate like crap and I know I didn't train right, that's when I'll start to get my feelings hurt. But not because a guy that trains full-time, beats me. That's okay. There's some levels to it, so I want everybody to remember that, and not to get discouraged over crazy stuff. And then it's how you spend your time training. For me, getting in the gym, getting on the floor, and exploring companionship with my teammates is big. Like, if I won a world championship tomorrow and had that medal hanging up on the wall, but I hated everybody I trained with and I hated training, I wouldn't do this anymore. If I went to Worlds and I got to watch a bunch of cool people compete, or we go to Abu Dhabi, qualify or something, I get to watch a whole bunch of cool people compete, and I get smoked in the first round, but I get to share that experience with my friends, I'll do this the rest of my life. That's really important to me. But let me go back to what I was talking about earlier, not being able to compete at my highest level. It's not competing at the highest level, it's competing at your highest level. So say you're a hobbyist, and when you're off, you spend some time with your family, you go to the gym, you're only in there a couple hours a week, maybe 2 days a week, 3 days a week, an hour and a half at a time or something like that. That's perfectly acceptable, that's fine. But while you're there, you're tired when you roll. You're having a hard time competing, you're tired. But then you go home and you eat some candy, or you eat some cake or something crazy. You stay up all night watching TV. You don't do the things you're supposed to take care of your body, and then you lose. I would have a hard time with that, and as a coach, I'd have a hard time watching that. I'd like, if I check you on it, don't think I'm being a butthole. I'm just doing my best to help you. And I try my best to live that example too. I fail at it sometimes. There's a lot of people that'll watch this and be like, man, I know I watched that dude eat a Reese's Fast Break for breakfast one day. And you have. But right now, being, competing and stuff, I'm not intaking sugar. I'm intaking very little bread, depending on how tired I am throughout the day. If I need some carbs, I'll do some bad carbs. But mostly it's just oats is where it comes from. Like, I'm trying my best to live that. If you work 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts, and you're still getting in the gym and you're grinding, that's awesome. But if your lack of sleep is coming from working or it's coming from training, I can accept that. If your lack of sleep is coming from partying all night, and then you're telling me, Coach, I'm just tired, I can't get these techniques right, I'm just not flowing like I should, but I see you on Snapchat and you're out drinking all night, I'm going to call you on that. Like, if you want to be a hobbyist, you don't want to compete, all you want to do is just come in the gym and train, and you want to post it on Facebook or something, cool. But if you want to compete and you come to me and you say, Coach, I want to compete, and I'm seeing these things, I'm going to call you out because I'm your friend, and that's what we're supposed to do. And I expect the same from anybody else. Like, hey, Josh, you missed practice, man, but you missed practice to go do an Xbox tournament or something, and you got competition coming up in a month. I expect you to call me out on that. I don't play Xbox, but if I did, I'd probably do some stupid stuff like that, and somebody'd have to check me on it. And I would do that for everybody else too. And it's not me being hard. You can tell me to shut up and bounce off with that, and I'll quit calling you on that. But I'm gonna come to you, with me. I'm gonna come to you with some friends. We'll have jiu-jitsu interventions on some guys if we have to. Like, stop smoking cigarettes, stop eating candy, wake up, let's go train. Get on me as hard as I get on you. We can give it back and forth. That's okay. I don't compete a whole lot. Matter of fact, I'm fixing to compete for the first time in jiu-jitsu, pure jiu-jitsu, since 2012. I do MMA, but now I'm getting back in. I'm doing full jiu-jitsu competition now, and it's almost a 9-year layoff. But I'm doing the very best. Like, I'm in the gym, 6, 7, 8 hours a week, training, not just coaching. Some people out there like, that's not a whole lot. And for a guy that works a 12-hour day full-time job, that is a lot of time for me, and I'm okay with that. And if I lose to a guy that he's on his way to Worlds, like, I'm glad to have been a part of his journey. I'm okay with those things, as long as I compete to my highest ability. I don't want to know that I can compete up to an 8, but I only made a 7 because I made poor decisions prepping for that. Up to an 8 doing the job and stuff that I still have. If I can make a 9 competing full time, but I'm not competing, but I'm not training full time, because I have, other priorities. I got to pay my bills and stuff. I got to feed my family. I settle with what I can settle for, but as long as that's what's holding me back, I don't want things holding me back that I can change. Like, I can choose not to eat a bunch of crap food. Mostly. If you're at work and you're on the road and you gotta stop and get a Subway sandwich with some bread on it, you have to, Hell, not even more, you can get Power Bowls. Anywho, choosing water at the restaurant over a Coke, that's your choice. And if you believe that that's not going to affect your jiu-jitsu, you're wrong. Watching Daisy Fresh the other day, I love that show, and watching Couch eat, drink Code Red. That dude's like 21 years old. It's a whole different level. If you're competing in Masters, dude, you've got to be doing. Imagine if that kid had a really clean diet and was lifting and stuff every day. Oh my God, how scary would that guy be? Now, I talked about the people that aren't able to compete a whole lot at practice and complaining about not being able to compete at competitions, and they're doing things. Let me tell you this: there's another guy. There's another set of guys that can hang with everybody at practice, that can go to competition, they can hang, they can medal, they can do those things, and they're just a hobbyist training level. But they're eating wrong, they're smoking cigarettes, they're doing the things that they're not supposed to do, and they're making. Could you imagine if they cleaned up their diet and quit doing unhealthy things, still work their full-time job, but just knocking those out would elevate their game so much higher? In your gym, go and find those people and encourage those people. Do it with them. Stand next to them and do the same thing. Make each other better. If you're not in there making each other better, you don't need to train together. Coaches out there, you don't have to compete. But if you're going to you can't tell people to do things you're not willing to do yourself. I coached from the couch before. I've had months that I just felt bad. Like, I don't want to compete. I don't want anything to do with competition. I don't even want to coach these competition guys. I'll go in there and keep coach the kid. Like, but if you're going to be about it, be about it. So, like I said, I'm going to stand right next to you. I'm going to do the same things I ask you to do. I encourage everybody to do the same thing. It doesn't matter what your belt rank is. If you're a white belt and you know a thing or two about diet, share it with a purple belt that you see that may not be doing it the right way. If he doesn't want the help, that's fine. Be friends with him. Don't give him the help anymore. But if you're not at least offering whatever your skill set is to the team, at least trying to offer it, you're probably wrong, man. And if somebody disagrees with that, like, man, I don't need to hear from you. I can handle my own. You know, maybe you either don't need to be training partners, or maybe that guy isn't, his goals aren't the same as yours. And if that's the case, then that's okay. But, you know, make that clear. I don't see why people have closed communication. Like, if you don't want to compete and you're just as happy huffing and puffing in the gym trying to make it through, if that's you, because that's been me before, that's cool. It's hard for me to see you sign up for competitions, though, and repping our brand, and I'm going to support it, but it's going to be hard for me to watch and not call you out on it, so just know it's coming. You know, I see a lot of potential in guys. Even with our brand new gym we just opened, like, we've been open 2 weeks, and I'm seeing some guys that are putting in work, that are putting down bad things, that are cleaning up their diet, that are doing, because even with full-time jobs and not competing full-time, not training full-time, like, they want to be good. They want to be at their highest level with what they're available to do. It's just my 2 cents on anything. Drop stuff in the inbox. I'd be glad to make videos about whatever. Tomorrow is going to be, I'm going to try to do another video tomorrow. It'll be a couple days probably before it's downloaded, on stretching. Kimberly from Montgomery has showed me some really cool stuff. She's a really good yoga practitioner. She might even be an instructor. I don't know. Either way, she's been showing me some good stuff that I've been doing before jiu-jitsu class that's helped me a lot. Not so much in just being flexible in areas I need to be flexible in, but being able to get into my shot positions, those deep positions, being able to get there quicker, being able to get back up a little bit quicker, being limber and being stretched properly means a lot. And I've always believed that, but I didn't really understand how widespread that was until she showed me some alternative stuff. So hopefully she won't get mad, but I'm going to share a couple of those things in a later video. So keep an eye on that. Again, any questions or anything, hit the comments, hit my inbox. See you later. Be safe.